Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, and we have a Vanderpump Rules story to get to. Andy Cohen defends Tom Sandoval, calls fan hatred out of control. My question for you in the audience, do you agree or disagree with Andy Cohen? And is his take on Tom Sandoval very similar to what Howie Mandel initially was saying, which is, hey, the guy made a mistake, but we need to lay off him a little bit. I'm going to play Andy Cohen's audio, and then we can decide how we feel about it. We'll make our judgments there. Of course, when you read it, in a title, it always seems more cutting. He defends Tom Sandoval. Well, defends him how? Against cheating? No. Against the idea that did he commit a crime? Also no. He said Tom Sandoval made a mistake he'll probably regret for the rest of his life. All right, I tell you what, let's just listen to the clip right here. It's on the Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast. Andy Cohen on Scandoval. Have a listen. It's coming.
Vanderpump Rules is this the most insane coverage that the show has ever gotten on Bravo?
I think it's the most sustained. If you look at when Jen Shah, was arrested, that was huge. If you look at the Salahis crashing the state dinner at the White House, that was major sustained coverage. But this is big. Erica Jane was major sustained coverage.
Right.
So there have been big. Teresa going to jail was major sustained coverage.
But does this feel like, because people are starting the show from the beginning right
Yes,
now.
I know.
You guys see it in the numbers, whoa,
We're
it's popping
certainly
off.
seeing. Look, Wednesday nights on Bravo are very much alive. Watch What Happens Live has had a significant boost on Wednesday nights.
Wow.
Certainly, yeah.
Wow, and
absolutely.
who would have thunk you guys?
I know it's
just
wild.
Last season was
I know it was. We had a couple seasons that were kind of growth seasons, or they were not the greatest.
Yeah.
And this was a big rebound season.
Is it
wild
weird to be happy that it's happening, but also feel bad?
I wouldn't say. I'm more kind of amazed that it's happening.
Yeah.
There are real people there. I think that people who, Tom Sandoval made a mistake that he'll probably regret for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
True.
He is still a person.
Yeah.
You know what
And I guess some people are saying, well, Tom hasn't shown any remorse. He doesn't regret the mistakes he's made. My response to that is generally that most people respond differently to issues like this. Yes, he might have pride and ego. And again, it's only months after, or several months after getting caught at least. So it could be that rather than being remorseful, he's defensive. But usually through the different stages that we process things, we get to the point where we go, man, I really wish I didn't handle that the way I did. I'm sure he feels that way.
It's gotten out of control.
It's out of control.
Yeah.
I hope it's kind of dying down for his sake.
I almost want to be Team Sandoval just because, not really, but I almost do
right.
just
You're
because when the mob is mobbing
right, exactly.
so hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, he's a real person.
Yeah.
He did something really stupid and hurtful and asinine and just every word. He didn't kill anyone.
Right. So what do you
He
think
did not.
Wait, what? He killed the story that he was going to end. Okay, so look, what we see here by Andy Cohen are very measured and mature points. And we might not get that from the cast of the show because they are too close to the situation. And there was a wild thing that happened. The distrust that was built, or broken, I should say, because Sandoval cheated not just with any random person, but with someone so close to. Yeah, absolutely, that's all true. But in the end, he hasn't been convicted of any crimes. He's facing a public judgment, which is fair. No one's saying it's not. But just like the host here says, she says, whenever there's this angry mob, she goes against the grain. And I'm kind of the same way. Normally, what happens with an angry mob is that they go past their target they're trying to hit, and then there's all this collateral damage. Is that happening here? Is there collateral damage? Chances are, yeah. If he wasn't a famous person, his friends would be really pissed off at him. He'd be shamed by his community, of course, by his ex and this and that, and then he would begin to recover and rebuild his life. But he's famous in a sense, and this is going to follow him around for a very, very long time.
Commit a
what's
crime.
this recipe? That's what I'm trying. I talk to people about this. I'm like,
why
people
is it
cheat,
so right?
And it's not a big deal. What is this exact? Because I think it's this exact recipe that happened.
I think it's that this cast is so incestuous already,
that's true.
and he's done it with Ariana, one of her best friends. And while she's also been flirting with his best friend.
Wait, but you know what I think add to that, Andy?
What?
People don't really like Sandoval. And I feel
Right.
like it just like, oh, we knew we fucking didn't.
Right,
It was
right.
never really a reason.
Yes.
And
right.
now there's like this huge
Yes,
like
exactly.
fucking reason.
Yes, it's
Anyway,
true.
Andy, what a fucking dream.
All right, so there it is. She said no one even liked Sandoval, which is true. That adds to now, of course. Andy Cohen is like a big brother here. He's seen this all play out from a very close and personal place, versus someone like Howie Mandel, who has no idea what the hell he's talking about here. Of course, this is from about a month ago. Howie Mandel had Tom Sandoval on to discuss Scandoval, but was told that he would only be allowed to have Tom Sandoval on if he didn't kind of fight back with any questioning and just let Tom Sandoval share his side. Of course, everyone has said who's followed this, they've said, well, Tom Sandoval, he's misremembering, he's bending the truth and all that. And absolutely, that's what people do. Absolutely. Someone yesterday left a comment saying, Dave, you haven't watched all the seasons, so otherwise you too would be calling Tom Sandoval a narcissist. And my response to that after yesterday's video was, look, he may or may not be one. Most people in reality TV probably have a higher percentage of being one. I just think it's funny when Lala calls him a narcissist when she's also on the same TV show that stirs up drama and it's all about, how can I further my storyline, this and that. It's kind of like, let's not pretend that they're not in some way or another indulgent in this influencer, like, look at me lifestyle. You know what I mean? And hey, I don't blame him. I'm a comedian. I go on stage so people will listen to me. Hey, listen to me. I'm going to tell jokes. I want to make you laugh. You know what I mean? We're all indulgent in today's world.
As the ignorant person here, and because I'm just discerning it for myself. Okay.
So at least here we've got Howie Mandel saying, as the ignorant person that doesn't know what's going on, this is his take.
Okay. Here is a young, talented man who has a business, who is on a show, who happens to be suffering with a life experience, turning 40, depressed, unaware of where his life and his business is leading, in a relationship that has stalled. Everything kind of feels like malaise. He's just looking for something. He happens to be surrounded by...
And the question is, did the relationship stall for reasons out of his control, or was it because he was focused on the next bright shiny thing? You know what I mean? The avenue in which we try to receive dopamine, that feel good drug, can be from things that are dangerous: alcohol, drugs, sex with new people, casual sex. I always say, now that I'm in a relationship, casual sex for me is just when neither participant wants to get on top. You know what I mean? That's casual sex when you're in a relationship. It's when you keep your socks on, and you know what I mean? Just keep your nightie on there. You're okay. Anyway, but the point is that you could frame this in a way that defends Tom Sandoval if you don't know what you're talking about.
People who, I think even though you're on a reality show, it's a very closed world. It really is. There's only certain people around. So there's this young lady, Raquel, who just happens to be there and happens to be a very wonderful person and a friend that you can talk to. And when you feel very vulnerable, you need that outlet. And they started talking, and then, there's chemistry. Sparks fly. They kiss.
Again, explaining the dopamine issue. Sparks fly, there's chemistry. Yeah, if that's what you're into, but you can also find that in your relationship if you learn to value what love truly should be.
And in that moment when you are so vulnerable, even just a kiss is like taking crack for the first time. You know what I mean? It creates a high. It's like a respite from this.
Okay, so we hear Howie Mandel's point, the high that's created from a new kiss. Yeah, that's the point. So when you're done feeling that high with Raquel, you're going to search for that high somewhere else, and on and on. It's like, bro, just take up bocce. You know what I mean? Like, do paddleball, become a bowler, find other ways to receive that dopamine and build the love that you wish to find in your relationship. But of course, if it wasn't meant to be with Ariana, there was a million ways in which he could have gotten out of the relationship that he didn't. But in the end, I tend to agree with what Andy Cohen says here, which is, look, he did something wrong, but he didn't commit any crimes. and it's something that he's going to regret forever. I think that's fair. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave a comment. We'll be back right after this.